professional, know what you're doing, you look like you know what you're doing. Anyway, probably just start that again. Yep, here we are, back in New Edorahn. Quite the city it is developing into. We'll get to this in a moment. Let's go back this way. This is a road, or it will be obviously once it's actually built. For now, I just wanted to mark out where it went, so I made sure that I was putting it in the right place, or at least this part of it in the right place. As you can see, since last streaming, I have developed, or finished rather, the statue. Didn't take too much work. It was mostly done anyway. I just had to install this back half of the griffin. I flipped the stance on the legs so that the actual original statue that this is copied from, this foot is here and that foot is there. I mirrored it using the structure blocks while placing it. And it went well, and I've just realised I keep forgetting I need to come back at some point and actually finish the tail properly. I'll need to teleport back to the original location because I'm not actually sure how this tail is finished. Anyway, it's actually not too far off of that, to be honest. Rough experiment with armour shoulder pads. I've got one statue somewhere, just a man by himself that's fairly heavily armoured. I gave him something along these lines, you know, shoulder pads. So built up, well, this all got finished, trivial stuff. I built out this front section to try and finish off the staircase in. I'm not super happy with it. I don't really know what's wrong, what's missing. I just know something's wrong. So yeah, I came up with this idea of a ring road. It's not perhaps as grand as I was expecting it to be, maybe. Made some tweaks here. Left in place the suggestion that this will go here. I did think before I start streaming I could have stairs coming all the way down to connect to this building. I think actually that would imply that it ends here, like that. Yeah. So what would I do? It's not too bad. It ends in a good spot. That'll go all the way down basically and block it in. Not really sure what's going to be there in terms of this. I've got the same problem on the other side. There's going to be a gate here, but that's kind of redundant because I'm originally envisioning a wall here which the road would pass through, so it would be pointless, and then there's a fort will go here and this side. It's a major gatehouse, which brings us back around here. So I'm going to be putting in a tunnel through here so that the waterway connects to here, which connects to here, which connects to here. So there you go. Strange. I seem to have cured the shadow spot on that, but I can't do the same with this. Although it looks like it's been partially cured at least. So yeah, full of interconnections. typical for me. I'm not sure what this was about. So yeah, we get to this. Obviously there's well, the road's coming down here, so at some point it's going to split. There'll be one point going here and one point going here, but also this is clearly intending to come across, which does, oh, I've got this down here. So yeah, this will come around. I want to extend this across, see where this connects. It's pretty good. So the original envisioned build, I think, was cathedral-esque. It's still got the cathedral feel. In a sense, what I've done is the cloisters have been turned into houses, essentially. Still leaves the central aisle. It's actually something I've thought about doing at other cathedrals, turning the cloisters into a housing and making an apartment-style complex of the cathedral. It wouldn't be out of place anyway, because the cathedrals are not cathedrals. They look like them, but they're actually sort of like hybrid buildings. Libraries, places of, not worship, but they kind of, what would you call it? Their religion is about knowing who you are and where you are and where you're going, or where you came from, where you're going and where you are. Shh, Daddy's here. I wonder where that's coming from. Anyway, yeah, so it's got to be around here somewhere. It must be just a very shallow tunnel. Anyway, so yeah, it's like a place of worship. Yeah, it's about knowing where you are, which is why it's double function as a library. All about understanding where you are, where you've come from, and where you're going. Anyway, so I do want to bring this up at least 3 floors. I'm about to transition to partial wood. I'll be using the bleached wood in place of the orange and the oak that's been used in the previous 2 sections. I'm trying to continue the cloister-esque, or the cathedral-esque structure or layout of the building with these wings. This was originally going to be a grand house, but with the lava here, I'm thinking about turning it into a power station. Which would make no sense next to a grand building, so the grand house is going to go down here. You can also see that I've been working on a walkway for the second set of stairs. There are these in place. This allows you to come up and down on both sides. There's a couple of access points I've stuck in. I did want to do something. I've been thinking about this last night. There's a problem. There's a problem with something, and I don't know what it was. I wanted to shunt the stairs back another step, so they started here, and then obviously they come up and around at this location instead. But I can't think for the life of me why I wanted to do this. The only thing that comes to mind is to do this. To just basically make it you know, non-falling hazard. I just can't think anymore. I feel like part of the problem is that I didn't like the steps were so close to coming down, like flush with the wall, and I wanted them set back. I don't know. It got dark and it started raining. Excuse me. Just slightly distracted by something. Weird. Anyway, let's get on with something. What little time I have left. Actually, I'm already at the 30-minute mark. Time to say adieu to those of you on YouTube. I should have done this before I got distracted. Anyway, adieu.